가만두지마 내게 come to me 없어 넌 in my head 채워줘 빈자리를 in my head 긴장하지마 내게 come to me
Sometimes I like to go coloured contacts.
Oh.
It's a world I like to venture into, but I like stupid colour contacts. I'll wear like purple. I'll wear purple and people be like, I love your eyes, and it's like, why? I'm a black person. I would not have purple. Who has purple eyes? Hi guys, it's Cece, your favourite monotoned, tone deaf, expressionless, bored, angry, disrespectful bitch. It's me. I'm back again.
So we have, so I did appreciate some of the feedback in terms of you guys wanted to get more of the dance perspective.
Yes, you guys felt people seem to feel cheated by my commentary before, which I'll take.
Yeah, so we're happy to really go into it and give a real technical delve into what's actually going on with the movements and everything that pertains. So,
and can I just say this for those of you who are upset about my skinship comment? I said what I said. I stand by it. My thing is this, again, dance, as with any art form, is open to interpretation.
Yes.
And based on what I've seen, and based on the very, very limited knowledge I have, this is how I've interpreted it.
That's it.
And you can interpret it otherwise. My interpretation should not sully your enjoyment of these artists. This is the routine. It's about the contrast of light and dark.
Yes.
I got some background from the comments. This is choreographed by both of them.
Yes.
WinWin has traditional Chinese background in dancing. I don't know much about that, so guys, I won't comment much on if I notice that influence in his routine, because I know nothing. Open to learning. And 10, he's not classically trained, is he?
No, he's got some. He did ballet for a little bit, and I think he has got some, but he's never really expanded on it. But some of his moves, you can tell there's something there, but I don't think we know in depth really.
Cool. All right then, let's get into it. Oh, also, I comment on dance as the person who could hit the moves, but didn't really care for the art form. Okay, it was not my favourite, but let's do this. So I'm just going to pause there. I cannot remember if I highlighted this in the previous video, but mirroring a routine is so difficult.
Yes.
And what's beautiful about the way that this one is performed, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but they actually, despite being right in front of each other, they're not making eye contact with one another. They're actually looking like they're not looking at each other.
I didn't notice that.
They are entirely in their own. Again, they're focused on themselves and what they're doing. Because to focus on another person could sway them away from the routine in itself. So for mirroring a routine, each one of them would have had to have learned this the right way round. Practice this the right way round, and then be ready to flip it. And then be ready to flip it, which again is very, very difficult. And again, when you're dancing with another person, it's one, you need to meet your mark, but also again dancing in measure to complement what the other person is doing. So whilst they both might be giving it their all, one may be going a little bit more harder, which causes the other one to, again, you've got to match that energy so that it's balanced on stage. So I'll just...
I didn't notice. Do you mind going back, actually? I didn't notice that they didn't look at each other.
See, the blessings of the ADHD and the hyper and the being hyper-focused. Right. I shall show you. So they're facing each other. The hands go up on the face. Watch.
Oh yeah, Ten's looking down now. Yeah.
See that? Not looking at each other.
Oh yeah, WinWin's looking down.
Yeah. So again, the fluidity of the movements, the tension between the two bodies, the skin jet.
Yeah.
That again, it adds more texture to the routine. So yes, this is I understand that people have told me in the comments that this is about fighting two sides of oneself, but even in the context of the light versus the dark, again, it's that power struggle. And what's nice is in other videos you've shown me where there's where they're trying to create tension and struggle, there is nothing physically, but there's nothing, there's no actual tension, but they've created the tension in their bodies, and again, it's they're channeling that into the routine. So again, beautiful to see, adds more texture, adds more variety, makes it more captivating and interesting to watch. So again, with this, what would be nice, and again, this is just me being nitpicky, because they're staggered. Yeah. You can obviously, you've got a clear view of their positioning. 10 is the one in the front. 10 is slightly more squat than WinWin. WinWin's legs his stance isn't as broadly set. But that could also be because one thing I have noticed in the very few videos I have seen of traditional Chinese dance, it's not as grounded in the knees. So you don't have, it's not as common to get as low to the ground unless they're doing like prop work. So if they're using fans, umbrellas, swords, then they do tend to be more squat, because I guess again it's
power.
Having that firm stance because of his traditional Chinese background, traditional Chinese dance background, that being slightly more elevated may come more naturally to him because he's more familiar with that from his previous dance history. And again, pertaining to the outfits, 10's outfit fits him slightly looser, and he's actually a lot more fluid in his movements than WinWin. And again, that could be because it's about the way that they are articulating themselves through movement. The darkness is ever so slightly more restrained and contained, hence why his shirt is a turtleneck and it's tucked in, whereas 10's outfit is freer,
looser, true,
and looser. Sorry, I'm going back. You wanted me to highlight proper like dance moves. So the line here, hold on. That, so where I've paused it, I know 10 has not completely reached his final point. Okay? But look at WinWin's leg. That foot is beautifully pointed, which means when he reaches his full extension, that will be beautiful. This is a beautiful arabesque. Okay? Thank you. Also, it's nice to see them commit to a body roll. You guys know how I feel about a body roll.
Oh, actually, that's a good body roll.
I do like a good body roll. They are both committed to the rolls. Okay. That pirouette was really pretty as well. WinWin. I'm drawn to him. I'm going back to that because I enjoyed it. Look at that.
So beautiful.
So free. And again, despite the fact that I'm sorry guys, I'm going to articulate it in the context of light and dark, even though that's not what you guys feel it means. But even the darkness is allowed
to shine,
to have some freedom. Just because it's dark doesn't mean it has to be closed and constrained and small. But there can be freedom and fluidity in that movement, and that's very small, very small pirouette, very delicate movement. Despite the fact, again, you've got 10 is off in a corner, well, not quite a corner, but he's doing his own thing, and because his back is turned to him, it is almost as though when the light's not looking, now's my let me just have my moment.
So true.
I have a quick moment, and then here we go. Again, the lines I'm drawn to. Let's go back. The power. So again, it's just because of where I've paused it, but look at WinWin's lines in comparison to Ten's lines. There's nothing wrong with Ten's lines. No. They're good lines, but you can see the difference between someone who's essentially got some classical training behind them, versus someone who maybe doesn't have classical training. Again, it's about the genre. So traditional Chinese dance probably has a lot of similarities to what you would usually see in ballet or like European contemporary dance. I don't know Ten's dance history. Please don't feel like you don't feel the need to tell me. But like the lines are gorgeous. The way that he's thrown his body into it, again, it's control. It's control. So WinWin is doing it from a technical space, and Ten is doing it from a place of, again, he's embodying the routine. So he's all the way in it. They're both in it. But again, one's got that technical ability. I guess it's the difference between an opera singer could sing a song and an R&B singer could sing a song, and they could sing the same song, but because the opera singer has that technical, they will sound different. They will sound more in control. There will be a level of polish to the way that they sing that song versus the R&B singer.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Look at that. Sorry.
But Ten's turn.
WinWin's turn.
WinWin's turn. Oh.
Again, even like, no offense, but look at the difference in landing. Look at the difference in the landing.
Well, because wait.
Look how. So this is how Ten is landed. This is how WinWin is landed. This is what I mean about the classical training. I wonder, is it possible to like do slow mo playback?
Yeah, you can playback speed. Do 0.75. Oh, okay, you can do 0.5 actually. Yeah, see.
1. So the way that Ten landed, again, it's not a bad landing. He's lined himself up to go straight into his next movement. However, there is more poise in WinWin's movement because, again, or should I say, most likely because he's got that classical training and he's in more control of his body. It's just like a person, you could do 50 turns across a room, but the person who can spot and do their turns, their turns will look a lot more polished and a lot more clean because of where they're moving their head. If you just you'll get there, but it won't look as good. It won't look as good. Sorry, I forgot to put that back to.
I forgot as well.
Let's go back to normal. We'll kick it back a little bit as well. Yeah, you can really see WinWin's training in his movements, because again, it's the control, it's the diversity of power behind each of the movements. Because yes, he's given it his all, but that doesn't mean you dance on 100 the whole routine, because you can't you wouldn't be able to sustain that. But also the routine won't deliver in the way that it should if the whole thing is done at 100.
Yeah,
because
dynamics.
some movements are more delicate, some are more punchy. Again, it's the very slight difference of a flexed foot versus a pointed foot.
Yes.
Like, it makes a world of difference. Yeah.
It is because obviously now the light person is next to the empty branches and the dark is on the light form, which kind of goes back to what you're saying about them kind of like interchanging. So now with renewed eyes, because remember the last time 10 caught your eye more, so what's changed in terms of now WinWin caught your eye more?
Poise. Poise, like I said, because he's got that classical training, whilst again they both hit the mark, and they both look great, but it's the je ne sais quoi, it's that little bit extra that in this instance comes with the professional teaching behind it versus raw talent. So again, both of these gentlemen are very talented individuals. They're both beautiful dancers. But one in this instance has the leg up because they've got that classical training behind them. So their lines are cleaner. The way that they move around a space is cleaner. They're landing on a jump. These are all things that when I was dancing, these are all the sorts of things that you learn. You learn how to sit down gracefully. You learn how to stand up from being sat down gracefully, because you're not allowed to use your, you can't put your hands like flat like this on the floor.
Doesn't look good.
Fingertips.
Oof.
Fingertips. Because if you're getting up, you need to be using your core.
Oh, of course.
Core and your legs only. You shouldn't be you shouldn't be that to get up. Like, you have to position yourself accordingly. And if you're sat like the way that you're sat, you would have to move your legs in a particular way to put yourself in a position to get up. Again, either way, you're getting up, but there's something about the way that you do it, the finesse, that poise, that professionalism. That's the thing that kind of catches your eye. So in this instance, I enjoyed watching WinWin more so than 10, but the routine is lovely.
So it's like me, pun intended.
Oh, bye guys.